When I was 7, I started hearing a beeping in my ear when I laid down at night.
She would be sweating, her heart would be racing, she would just be terrified.
And they sent me to an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
They called and said that they saw something on the CT scan. It wasn't anything related to her ears. They saw something on her brain, but they weren't really focusing on that area, so they needed to get her in right away for an MRI.
We found out the day after my 8th birthday that I had a brain tumor.
It was in the back of her head, so when she laid down at night, the only way when she was 7 for her to describe it, it's what we would say would be like a throbbing.
I would usually wake up in the middle of the night, panic.
It was between her brainstem and her cerebellum, and it was actually connected to the cerebellum. So she had surgery the following week.
Fortunately for her, we haven't had anything that we've needed to do subsequently from a tumor management standpoint, but certainly there's been lots of other complications.
She started having seizures and she stopped following commands, and so she developed pretty quickly a condition called posterior fossa syndrome.
I couldn't talk. I couldn't really do anything. I was kind of like a baby.
We made a referral for an inpatient rehabilitation. At the time, we didn't provide that here.
My sisters, when I was in the hospital, they'd come up on the weekends, and we called it sister snuggle time. So we would all cram into my hospital bed, which I don't know how all 3 of us fit.
And then she came back and participated in our day rehab program, which is 5 days a week of up to 6 hours a day of PT, and speech.
It was almost like a full-time job.
You think when they're little, watching them take their first steps or saying their first word, you're always so amazed by that, but when they say their first word and they take their first steps for the second time.
She's a goofball and I'm a goofball, and we connected that way.
Kate was just a really great therapist with Mackenzie, and she got to know her and her personality, and she made therapy fun.
One thing I liked to do a lot was play pranks. And so they kind of incorporated that into therapy.
I remember bringing some snow back in with her to throw a snowball at one of the aides.
She worked hard in therapies. She was always very focused on her goals.
With years, literally years of therapy and years of practice, she's refined her movements to go back to doing the things that she enjoys doing.
She was a big dancer before the tumor resection and got back to dance very quickly and continued dancing.
She participated in Dancing for the Kids with me, and Mackenzie was always there to give me a positive, you got this kind of confidence boost.
I'm also super proud of her because on her own, she was able to secure her own job at Victory Gallup.
They approached me and asked me if I would want to be their volunteer coordinator. I did 8 years of therapeutic horseback riding lessons there.
It's been scary, and as a parent, having a child with special needs, you kind of always worry about the future, and there's still, kind of those worries, but Mackenzie overcomes every obstacle and she never lets anything stop her, so I think that she has a bright future.